on his 66th birthday, slumped like a rabbit in the headlights, caught on camera after 11 hours of questioning. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The police will be pursuing this. He has been released under caution, and we will subsequently see whether in the weeks and months to come they take the matter to the Crown Prosecution Service, and it may go to trial. If that were the case, it would indeed be an international cause célèbre. Important to stress in all this that King Charles has emphasized in a statement last week that he would give, the palace would give any help required from the police, and that currently some 10 police forces in Britain are looking into various aspects, allegations of trafficking. In 2010 was a woman trafficked by Epstein to spend time with Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. We'll see what eventually transpires, but this is, of course, a crisis for the monarchy. This hasn't happened since, 1647 and King Charles I, and we know how that ended. In fact, it so happens that two of my family, these are collaterals, I would emphasize, not in direct descent, were two of King Charles's judges, Thomas and James Challoner. That aside, there was, of course, Princess Elizabeth and the less happy Anne Boleyn, Catherine Howard, and so forth. But you're going back hundreds of years. For the monarchy now, what I would say was the world's most high-profile institution. This is a crisis. The royals family have been on the back foot because they don't know what is coming out of the Epstein files, and this remains the case. It's extraordinary what has emerged, and certainly what we've been seeing is with the misconduct in public office, confidential documents and so forth found their way into, or sent by Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor allegedly, to Epstein or Epstein's colleagues. And this was the case apparently in Hong Kong, in Vietnam, in China, and elsewhere in the Far East, and also issues dealing in investment in Helmand Province, Afghanistan, also linked to the Royal Bank of Scotland, again for confidential information there. Very sensitive material. So we will have to see, because he was special envoy for British trade from 2001 to 2011 for 10 years. And it was during that time that it seems perfectly clear, although he denies all the charges against him and he has not been found guilty of anything, that he and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson enriched themselves privately, whereas they were, or he was, a public servant. Other charges, as we know, they were recently proven. The photograph taken in 2001, published in 2011, of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor with his arm round Virginia Roberts Giuffre. We know that is, in fact, as everyone has suspected, perfectly genuine. Also other images, a shot of a photograph of Andrew on all fours with an unredacted image of a young woman beneath him, or lying on the laps of 5 women. Apparently this was taken at Sandringham. The women have been redacted. And of course the image at the back of that car where he's pretty well down and out after being questioned by the police. These images will come to haunt him and to help define someone who's unquestionably, who lied on Newsnight, who has seems to exist in some form of dream world. There's no contrition of any sort. Where does this leave the monarchy? I mean, this is obviously a very serious problem, and we don't know exactly how it will work out. But it's important to stress that one rotten apple, and of course Sarah Ferguson, his ex-wife, who has been beset by scandals and debts ever since she joined the royal family in 1986. There's no doubt at all that they have absolutely no future in public life. As for their daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, I'd say that, quite frankly, their perks, where they live, and their titles, their charitable work, all of this is likely to be under scrutiny, and eventually, I suspect, it isn't likely to last. There have been some embarrassing revelations about them in the Epstein files, including one where apparently Sarah Ferguson took both of them to lunch with Epstein, all expenses paid, allegedly, in Florida, just after he was out of prison for child sex trafficking. So, I mean, it's very, very, a very unhappy situation as far as they are concerned. The monarchy has a dictum, much mocked: keep calm and carry on. Now, it's been said in the last few days, and most particularly in the last couple of days, that it was some sort of extinct volcano, that it was finished, that after something like this had happened, it would in some way disappear. Far from it. Keep calm and carry on is the only way the monarchy can carry on for the time being, whilst the police take matters further and very possibly take it to the CPS. That will involve the various members of the royal family doing exactly what they're doing. It will also mean, when legally appropriate, removing Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor from the line of succession. The king has already stripped him of his titles, and indeed he had forced to step down in the days of Queen Elizabeth after his catastrophic interview on Newsnight. But the monarchy serves him in several important purposes. It's above party politics. It's a symbol of national unity. Soft power, look at the links with Donald Trump. It's the one thing he's been consistent on, is that he admires it. And you could go back to Queen Elizabeth's visit to Ireland in 2011 to see that at its best as well. And charitable work. King Charles and Princess of Wales have helped so many other cancer sufferers by what they've shared. And also, you find the ceremonial in Britain is the best in the world. So it's an institution which is unique in so many ways. It goes back over 1,000 years. I would suggest the monarchy is part of our DNA. Certainly it will change, it ought to change, and it certainly should be more transparent in some ways. But fundamentally, the monarchy and Britain, for me anyway, are synonymous.